Hello, good day to you. My name is Rebecca Joe, and this is 30 minutes of Katonah Yoga Pranayama Breath Practice. Really quick, if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button on my channel, follow my page, like and comment on this video, and share with your family and friends if you find it useful to you. It is super helpful for us small creators to be able to continue to put our work out into the world and get exposure so that we can bring you access to our work. We will do this whole practice seated today, so just find any comfortable seat you like. You could sit in a chair if that's better for you. I am sitting on a block in what we call Virasana Hero's pose, and I just have the block between my ankles. If this feels like it's a lot on the knees, first try stacking higher, so you could take a second or even third block so that your hips are above your knees, and that gives you this downward slope so that your hip flexors aren't gripping to hold you up and creating this tucking into your tail, which can make the effort of sitting so much that all of the practices of breath and meditation and centering ourselves just kind of goes out the window. So take the time to set yourself up well. I'm also going to use a strap and a sandbag for my practice, and those are just extra tools to help create a sense of grounding. Sometimes when we do these breath exercises, and especially we get into some of the rapid breathing, it can feel a little bit erratic in a sense. And so when we add in these practices to help ground us, that just helps settle everything back into the body and allows us to explore a little bit more the range and pace of our breath and movement. So if you have a strap, I'm just going to take it underneath the shins, snap myself in, and then grab a sandbag and set that sandbag just on top. And you could use a weighted blanket, you could use nothing at all. Again, it's just to help you feel more stable and secure in your low body and give you more freedom and range through your lungs and your breath and the capacity and ability to move around in these practices. Once you're here, just take your time, make sure that you're set well. Know that you can always move in and out if you need to. Switch the positions, cross your legs, uncross your legs, do what you need to do, again, so that you're not suffering through the practice of sitting in order to get this breath work done. Right? And once you're here, we'll take just a moment to settle into ourselves, to ground ourselves, taking your hands and just resting palms on your legs, soften your eyes closed. And take a moment to scan through your body. So just sweeping your mind's eye from the crown of your head down to your feet. And especially if you've just woken up in the morning, noticing any new sensations for you, noticing what is awake within you, what you actually feel physically, noticing how your breath is moving in its natural pace without trying to control it or change it at this point. And then just lightly rub your hands on your legs. And it doesn't matter if you go all the way up the legs or just stay in one little section of it. Just feeling a little bit of contact, a little tactile awareness, bringing a little more attention into your lower body, into your support. And then resting your hands again. Bring your awareness back into your low body, into your pelvis. Feel your sitting bones on whatever surface they're on. And feeling like you're rooting them down to plug your pelvis into the ground. And through that sense of rooting, starting to create a rise up the middle of the body. And so you find yourself on a plumb line. You can imagine yourself tethered from the crown of your head towards everything above you. And then from the center of your pelvis down into the core of the earth beneath you. And so that every movement we make, whether it be forward or back to the side or to the side as we twist around, we do so around this space of centerness, around this plumb line, taking a last easy breath in and out here. And anytime you start to feel like the breath becomes too much or the movement, because we will do some small movements, feel like maybe you're spinning out a little bit, come back to this space of just being with your breath, feeling your hands on your legs, feeling your feet on the ground, or whatever part of you is making contact with the floor, and finding yourself back in the middle on that plumb line. Slide your hands down, and this is going to depend on the position. If you're in this position or your cross leg, you can cup your knees with your palms, and you might find that you lean a little bit forward. That's okay. If it's too much of a fold, or you're in a position that you can't easily grab your knees, you can take a hold of your heels so that you get a really good fit and grip, or just simply keep your hands on your legs. When you're in that position, round your spine, kind of like a cat stretch. Drop your chin into your chest, and then take a breath into your back. And then on your exhale, you're going to rock forward towards the front of your seat. Pull your elbows back and pull your chest through, looking up. So cat-cow-like movement with the spine. Inhale to round, and then exhale to draw yourself forward and extend the spine. Just take a few rounds just to familiarize yourself with the movement, to find a rhythm and coordination with it, and to start to connect it into your breath. And for this one today, rounding as you inhale, exhaling to draw your chest forward. And as you move, you might start to go a little bit faster. Feel yourself rocking forward and back on your sit bones. So you rock yourself forward into the future, into the potential of what's in front of you. You rock back into a place of reflection, into your past, into everywhere you've been and what you've experienced before. And then you keep playing that movement, going forward, going back, finding yourself in the middle at times. And then maybe making that breath a little more powerful. Inhale, exhale. So keep going, find a full wave of the spine, really focusing on that striking of your tail against the floor. And so within the Katonah practice, we use a lot the imagery and the metaphor of our body as a house. And we see the house as having 3 floors, right? You have your first floor, which is your low body. The midsection of the body to about your neck is your second floor. Your head, your neck are your third floor, right? And on your first floor, it's all the plumbing, right? It's your laundry room, it's your basement, it's your garage, where your boiler room is. Right, and where your boiler room is where your pilot light is, where your boiler is. So when you're striking your tail, think of striking a match, starting to light the first fire in your pelvis, right? The first spark of creativity, the first flame of sexuality, the spark of initiation. And as you continue to develop heat, we start to bring that heat upward, because fire always rises. The first fire meets the second fire on the second floor of the house, where your hearth is, where your kitchen is, where your altar space is. It's really the fire of your desire, the warmth that heats your life and supports you in being able to move through the world. Moving up from there, we go to the third floor, which is where our vision looks out, where our bedroom is, where our attic space is, where our memory lies, right? Where the fire of our intuition is, the spark of our vision. And then keep going. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Find yourself in the middle again. Just slide your hands into a comfortable place on your legs. If you have a sandbag and it's moved, shift it back into place. Feel yourself plugged in again, so you're supported by everything beneath you. You're elevated towards everything above you. Notice all of those little shifts of sensation in the body as you start to play with your breath. And know if some of the faster, more intense breath practices are not great for you. You can do all of this at a slower pace with less intensity. Right, take your hands to your heels if you're seated like this, otherwise keeping your hands on your legs as you were. And you're gonna start to spin around, so tip forward. You can imagine yourself sitting on a clock face with 12 o'clock straight out in front of you. And then you're gonna rock over to 3 o'clock, back to 6, over to 9, and around again. And then just keep spinning around, still concentrating the movement at the pelvis, but allowing the freedom of your chest and head to move as it needs. Find an easy breath here. So think of this as stirring the water, stirring the pot, right? So if you heat a pot of water, it starts to boil, and then you're gonna stir whatever is in it, move it around, right? Our waters connect into our emotional world, that creative and sexual energy again. Right? And so we're just kind of stirring it around, letting the kind of muck move around so that we can start to sift through it, and then start to spin around the other way. And then notice, right? Notice if you easily move in one direction or towards one time on the clock. Notice if you skip over, if there are areas that are maybe a little kind of hard to get to. And that's okay, just be aware of it. One direction, clockwise or counter, is easier and more natural for you to move in. And then bring yourself back to the middle. Find yourself on your plumb line again, connected, rooted to the ground beneath you, supported by the energy of the earth, elevated towards what's above you, tethered to the sky. Taking a full breath in and a full breath out. Extend your arms overhead now. Make cups with your hands. You're going to make a wide V with your arms, a triangle between the chest and the palms. And feel like you're lifting upward. Lift your sternum, lift your gaze towards the top of the wall. Soften your eyes, close, and then lift your gaze towards the center of your forehead. Take a full breath in through your nose. Exhale through your nose, and as you exhale, pull your navel strongly back towards your spine. Just use that contraction to push the breath out. Relax the tension of the belly. Let your breath come in. It's a very slow version of breath of fire here. And then as you exhale, navel pulls back. One more time like that. Relax your navel, inhale. So that inhale is pretty passive. It comes through the space opening in the rib cage, through the softness of the belly. And then as you exhale, navel snaps back. Now, if you're newer to breath of fire, you might stay with a slower pace. You might start to pick it up a little, but stay at a relatively slower pace. If you are comfortable with it, you'll start to go a little bit faster. Keep going, keep pumping the breath at the pace that works for you. Play with your pacing and rhythm. You can try going faster, try going slower. Right? And then find a rhythm that you can maintain and sustain a steadiness to. If the arms in the air become too tiresome, just place your hands back down on your hips. If your arms are up, continue to lift them, and then continuing that breath. Now exhale, fully empty out. Hook your thumbs overhead. Stay empty as you reach up through your fingertips. Take a big breath in through your mouth. Cooling breath. Seal your lips. Take an inhale through your nose. Sip 3 more breaths into your mouth. Tuck your chin, locking your throat, holding the breath in, feeling the fullness of the breath swirling around you. Keep opening space, reaching up through the fingertips, rooting down through the seat. When you're ready to release the breath, first unlock your chin, take the breath out, and set your hands back to your legs. Find yourself again in the middle on your plumb line, feeling that connection to the support beneath you as well as the levity above you. And then make fists with your hands, bring them in front of you. And we're gonna come back to that first rocking movement we did, this time with a Bhastrika, a bellows breath. So we'll add an active inhale, whereas the breath of fire was that just focus on the exhale. This is, again, monitor yourself. So if you start to feel lightheaded, if you start to feel like this breath isn't supporting you, slow it down, and then you can just come back to a regular breath if that's where you need to be. Round your spine again, take an inhale. And then this time as you exhale, pull your elbows back and pull your chest through. Inhale, exhale. Keep going with it. Slow it down if you need. Speed it up if you want to heat yourself up more. If you really want to Kick your butt into motion. Keep going. Inhale, exhale. Let the whole spine move, even though you're initiating this movement from the tail, striking forward and back. Right? Heating your pilot light again, warming up your house. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling, reaching your arms overhead. Hook your thumbs, other thumb in front. Take a full big breath in. Hold your breath. Sip another breath through your nose. 3 sips through the mouth. Chin to chest. Lock the breath in. Observe that sensation of fullness, the lightness of lifting upward. When you're ready, unlock the chin. Release your hands. Set your hands to your legs. Start to feel the shift as your body settles back down, noticing new physical sensation. So always checking in. And then bring your hands onto your shoulders. Elbows reaching out, right? Same breath pattern, active inhale and exhale. And now we'll add a twisting movement. So as you inhale, turn towards the left. And as you exhale, towards the right. Inhale left, exhale right. Take it slowly a few times, especially if twisting is challenging, right? You're not trying to force a deeper twist, just letting yourself swing from side to side and using especially that exhale from left to right to help spin you around. Inhale, exhale. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come to face forward, interlace your fingers, press your palms overhead, big breath through your mouth. Holding your breath in, sip a breath in through your nose. 3 quick breaths. And then exhale, let it go. Release your hands. Settle your breath, scan through your body again, observe shifting energy just to become more perceptive, more sensitive to the initiation of change. Not sensitive in the way that you're reactive, but that you're aware. And then take one hand, doesn't really matter which one, and just start to tap your fingers right in the center of your chest. Just right there in the middle of your sternum. Take the other arm out to the side. And then start to switch. Coming back to breath of fire, active exhale. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Lifting a little through the chin, just so the throat is open. Start to take your gaze up towards the third eye space again. Keep moving. Exhale, 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 exhale. Tapping the chest. And then you can add some imagery here if it's useful to you, right? So we're taking this active out breath, focusing on the release, right? As you bring your hands to your chest, you can imagine that you're pulling out stagnation, congestion, any feelings of being stuck. Out, 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 out. You can say it if it's useful, using that as your exhale. Out, 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 out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Interlace your fingers, non-habitual clasp palms overhead. Inhale through your mouth. Press the heel of your hand up. Inhale through your nose. Root your sitting bones down. 3 sips through the mouth. Chin to chest. Swirling the energy around in the body, observing what fullness feels like for you. For some, it might create a little bit of anxiety, and just notice that. If you need to, release the exhale. When you're ready, lifting your chin and taking your breath out. Rest your hands to your thighs. Soft breath. And then take your right hand out to the side and just look at your hand and start to shake your wrist. And fling it around. And so creating some space in your wrist joint, but also allowing for this kind of erratic movement, this flippant movement. And notice here, right? Sometimes when we're asked to move freely, right, we take advantage of that opportunity and we really go for it. Sometimes when we're asked to move freely, we kind of do this, right? You're in your home or wherever you're at, so just let yourself go with it. If it's painful, obviously, don't go so intensely, but if it feels okay, let it swing. Right? Notice how your hand moves. For a lot of people, this will be their dominant hand, so just pay attention to that. And then switch sides. Right? And then notice how this hand moves. Right? Is it the same? Is it easier to get it to move around? Do you have to put a little bit more effort into it, a little bit more attention? Is one hand a little more intelligent than the other, likely your dominant hand? So our wrists are connected into our collarbones, right? They're like little collarbones. And so whenever we have congestion in our wrists, it's usually a signal that there's also congestion up in here, which is the top part of the lungs, which means it's not going to be as easy to take a full breath. So anything we can do here to create some space in the wrists is also going to help open up our breath. Both hands. And then keep going. And just let your breath be easy for this part. Let your arms move, shake it out. And then rest the back of your hands down. Palms facing up in this receptive gesture. Feel the sensation in your hands. Feel your breath moving in and out of your body. Again, for a few rounds, see if you can watch and observe the breath without changing it. Right? And I find this to be incredibly difficult sometimes, this passive awareness, right, without putting effort in, without trying to control the situation. And letting the breath come and go in its natural rhythm, observing it without taking control of it. Intentionally taking a deeper breath now. Begin to count your breath. And so I'll suggest 5 or 6 as a count. Adjust as you need to accommodate your breath rhythm. If you have a deeper breath, count to 7 or 8. If you have a shallow breath, count to 3 or 4. It's more important that we start to create this equal measure to our breath. So with your inhale, start your count from 1 to 6 or whatever number you choose. And with your exhale, count back down from that number to 1. Right? Whatever count you choose is less important than how you're counting. So find a count that is steady for you, that you can keep an even pace, that feels spacious but not full of effort. And continuing to count up and down, if you notice that you linger and slow your breath down in one part or you try and speed through it, that's a good indication that maybe you should choose a different number. So if you're counting to 6 and you're racing through the count of the exhale, take it down to 5 and make this a breath that comes with ease. Right? So we create a timing for ourselves, we create a rhythm. We start to balance this effort of give and take, this interaction and reciprocity with the natural world around us, drawing evenly from the elements of the outside and then giving back. Take just 2 or 3 more breaths like that, counting up and down. With the completion of your last exhale here, let go of the effort of counting, ease your breath back into its natural rhythm. And then bring your right hand up towards your face, and we'll take a variation of alternate nostril breath. So for this version, rest your index finger and middle finger right at the center of your forehead in the third eye space, and then lightly tap. And then resting your fingertips just on your third eye space, seal off your right nostril with your thumb. And then whatever breath you have inside, exhale out through the left side. Just empty out and clear space for a new round. Inhale through your left side, and just go to the natural completion of your inhale. Seal your left nostril with your ring finger. Pause and just hold the breath for a moment, a second or so, and then you'll exhale through the right. Inhaling back through the right side. Seal the right nostril, pause to retain the breath. Exhale through the left. And then let the breath linger out. So you pause at the end of the breath for a count or two, letting any excess breath seep out. Taking a new cycle, inhaling through the left. Sealing the left side, pause, hold the breath. Exhale through the right. Hold the breath out. Inhaling through the right again. Pause and exhale left. Take 2 or 3 more rounds of alternate nostril breath. Left to right, right to left is one cycle, one breath round. Okay. And then you can play again with the pacing here. So you can just go to the natural breath, especially if this is a little bit newer for you. Adding a count might feel a little bit like too much to think about. If you want to, you can come back to that equal measure of breath with the inhale and the exhale, just taking those pauses of a count or two in between. You can start to play with lengthening the exhale more. And just know if for any health reasons you should not hold your breath, just don't, right? Skip that part. Finishing your last cycle, left to right, right to left. And when you finish, release your palms to your legs again. And then see if without the hands on the nose to seal, you can find that direction of breath just through your mind. Visualizing and feeling for your breath coming in through the left nostril, out through the right, in through the right, and out through the left. If you don't feel it at first, that's okay. It is a practice. Just continuing to practice, bring that awareness into the movement of your breath. Over time, it will become more accessible. Take another round, visualizing your breath in through the left, out through the right, in through the right, and out through the left. And settling your breath into a natural pace again, observing, resting in awareness within your breath. As we did in the beginning, scan your mind's eye through your body, from your crown to your feet, and then back up again. Notice new physical sensation. The temperature, the texture of your fabric, the ground beneath you, your heartbeat, the movement of your breath, whatever comes to your attention. And then just passing on to the next thing. And gathering your hands together in front of your body, rub your palms. And then when your hands start to feel warm and energized, place them over your eyes. Cup around your eyes, so you have a little bit of space there, and you're really just pressing into the outer rim of the eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale a sigh through your mouth. Seal your lips, keep your teeth separated so your jaw is unclenched. Start to flutter your eyes open and closed within your hands. Just gently letting the light enter again, keeping a softness in your gaze as you start to look back out into the world. Then releasing your hands. We'll finish there. Thank you so very, very much. I really appreciate your time and your effort in being here and showing up for yourself. My name is Rebecca Jo. You'll find plenty more videos like this, as well as longer asana practices. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook, wherever you easily can access content. And leave a comment, leave a question. You're welcome to send me a message. I love to hear from you. So have a beautiful day. Thank you.